The Act of Killing is a 2012 documentary film about the Indonesian killings of 1965, a Euro 66 directed by Joshua Oppenheimer, and co-directed by Christine Cynn and an anonymous Indonesian. It is a Danish-British-Norwegian co-production, presented by Final Cut for Real in Denmark and produced by Signe Byrge Sørensen. The executive producers were Werner Herzog, Errol Morris, Joram Brink, and Andre Singer. It is a Docwest project of the University of Westminster. It won the 2013 European Film Award for Best Documentary, the Asia Pacific Screen Award, and was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature at the 86th Academy Awards. The Act of Killing won Best Documentary at the 2014 BAFTA Awards. In accepting the award, Oppenheimer asserted that the United States and the United Kingdom have collective responsibility for participating in and ignoring the crimes, which was omitted from the video BAFTA posted online. The Indonesian government has responded negatively to the movie. Its presidential spokesman on foreign affairs, Teuku Faizasyah, claimed that the movie is misleading with respect to its portrayal of Indonesia. A sequel to the film, The Look of Silence, is scheduled to be released in 2015. Synopsis: the film focuses on the Indonesian killings of 1965, a Euro 66, an ostensibly anti-communist purge in which more than 500,000 people were killed. When Suharto overthrew Sukarno, the president of Indonesia, following the failed coup of the 30th September movement in 1965, the gangsters Anwar Congo and Odi Zulkifli in Medan were promoted from selling black market movie theater tickets to leading the most powerful death squad in North Sumatra. They also extorted money from ethnic Chinese before killing them. Anwar is said to have personally killed 1,000 people by methods such as strangulation with wire. Today, Anwar is revered as a founding father of the right-wing paramilitary organization Pemuda Pancasila that grew out of the death squads. The organization is so powerful that its leaders include government ministers who are openly involved in corruption, election rigging, clearing people from their land for developers, and genocide. Invited by Oppenheimer, Anwar and his friends recount and reenact their experiences and some of their killings for the cameras, and make dramatic scenes depicting their memories and feelings about the killings. The scenes are produced in the style of their favorite film genres, gangster, western, and musical. Various aspects of Anwar and his friends' filmmaking process are shown, but as they begin to dramatize Anwar's own nightmares, the fiction scenes begin to take over the film's form, leading the film to become increasingly surreal. Oppenheimer has called the result a documentary of the imagination. Some of Anwar's friends state that the killings were wrong, while others worry about the consequences of the story on their public image. After Anwar plays a victim, he cannot continue. He says that he feels what his victims have felt. Oppenheimer, from behind the camera, states that it was worse for the victims because they knew they were going to be killed, whereas Anwar was only acting. Anwar then expresses doubts over whether or not he has sinned, tearfully saying he does not want the memories of what he did to come back to him. He revisits the rooftop where he claims many of his killings took place, and gags repeatedly. The dancers from the film's theatrical poster are seen before the credits begin to roll. Production: in 2001, while conducting interviews for their 2003 film The Globalization Tapes, Oppenheimer and Cynn began delving into the Indonesian killings of 1965, a Euro 66. After moving up the ranks of those involved with the killings, Oppenheimer's interviews led him to meet Anwar Congo in 2005. The film was shot mostly in Medan, North Sumatra, Indonesia, between 2005 and 2011. After seeing an early preview of The Act of Killing, filmmakers Werner Herzog and Errol Morris signed on as executive producers. The name Anonymous appears 49 times under 27 different crew positions in the credits. These crew members still fear revenge from the death squad killers. Reception: critical response: The Act of Killing received worldwide critical acclaim. The review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes reported a 95% approval rating with an average rating of 8.7/10 based on 132 reviews. The website's consensus reads, "Raw, terrifying, and painfully difficult to watch, the act of killing offers a haunting testament to the edifying, confrontational power of documentary cinema. On Metacritic, the film has an average score of 89 out of 100, based on 30 reviews, indicating universal acclaim. Nick Skigger of The Village Voice called it a masterpiece. Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Chris Hedges called the film an important exploration of the complex psychology of mass murderers, and wrote that it is not the demonized, easily digestible caricature of a mass murderer that most disturbs us. It is the human being. In some quarters, Oppenheimer has been accused of treating his subjects in bad faith. As far as their goal at the beginning was to glorify mass murder, Oppenheimer responds that could never have been his goal, therefore that side of them may have been betrayed. In an interview with The Village Voice, Oppenheimer said, "When I was entrusted by this community of survivors to film these justifications, to film these boastings, I was trying to expose and interrogate the nature of impunity. Boasting about killing was the right material to do that with because it is a symptom of impunity." Australian National University Professor of Asian History and Politics Robert Cribb stated that the film lacks historical context. In reply, Oppenheimer said that the film is essentially not about what happened in 1965, but rather about a regime in which genocide has, paradoxically, been effaced, yet celebrated in order to keep the survivors terrified, the public brainwashed, and the perpetrators able to live with themselves. It never pretends to be an exhaustive account of the events of 1965. It seeks to understand the impact of the killing and terror today, on individuals and institutions. Bradley Simpson, historian at the University of Connecticut and director of the Indonesia East Timor Documentation Project at the National Security Archive, states the brilliant Oscar-nominated film has prompted vigorous debate among Indonesians about the crimes and the need to hold responsible parties accountable, and suggests that it could have a similar effect in the United States, whose own role in the killings has never officially been acknowledged, much less accounted for, though some of the relevant documents have been made available to the public. An Indonesian academic, Soetjen Marching, analyzed the film in relation to Hannah Arendt's theory of the banality of evil. The primary subjects in the film, Anwar Congo and Herman Koto, have seen the film and neither feels deceived, according to Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer says that upon watching the film Anwar Congo started to cry. "Tearfully, he told me, this is the film I expected. It's an honest film, a true film." He said he was profoundly moved and will always remain loyal to it. A subsequent interview on Al Jazeera's program 101 East revealed that Anwar had misgivings about the film and the negative reaction to it in Indonesia, which was causing problems for him. He confided these concerns directly to Oppenheimer in an apparent Skype conversation displayed within the program. Top 10 lists. The Act of Killing has been named as one of the best films of 2013 by various critics, First AA Euro Sight and Sound, First AA Euro The Guardian, First AA Euro LA Weekly, First AA Euro Nick Skigger, The AV Club, Second AA Euro Mark Kermode, The Observer, Third AA Euro David Edelstein, New York, Third AA Euro David Sexton, London Evening Standard, Fourth AA Euro Eric Cohn, Indua, Fourth AA Euro People Magazine, Seventh AA Euro Bill Goodicawans, Arizona Republic, Seventh AA Euro. AA Dowd, The AV Club, Seventh AA Euro David Chen, /film.com, Eighth AA Euro Sam Adams, The AV Club, Eighth AA Euro Ignatiy Vishnevitsky, The AV Club, Eighth AA Euro Richard Corliss, Time, 10th AA Euro Time Out London, 10th AA Euro Devindra Hardor, /film.com, Awards and Nominations. References. External links, official website, The Act of Killing at the Internet Movie Database, The Act of Killing at Box Office Mojo, The Act of Killing at Rotten Tomatoes, The Act of Killing at Metacritic, The Act of Killing on Facebook, The Act of Killing new film shows US-backed Indonesian death squad leaders reenacting massacres. Democracy Now! July 19, 2013.